Namaste, welcome back. This is a video about goals and transformation in life and or a spiritual awakening or a change, a really big change in life happens to you. So let's dig in. And I want to talk about goals first. What happens when we set a goal? What is the standard or the ground we are setting the goal, whatever the goal is? Um, I removed my goals in my life. I'm goalless. I don't exist with a goal. I have a certain thing in my mind where I want to reach, but not as a goal. I'm not like putting my entire energy towards only that direction as of now. No, I'm not doing it. Goal will never let me settle. It never let me settle right here. I'm always running in the future because goal is always in the future. It might be small goal, big goal, whatever the goal is. And the consciousness and the awareness we have right now with ourselves, it keeps changing. I might set a goal right now to go somewhere or like achieve something or earn something. By the time I get there, before I even get there, the goal changes. It'll go further ahead. It'll go further ahead. It'll go further ahead. It'll go further ahead. It'll never stop. It just keep going on and on and on. And I'm never living in this moment. Never letting myself just be and be present here, right now, right here. Every moment, moment by moment. It'll not let me do that. It's like when we enter into meditation, the deeper we go into it, the spontaneous our life becomes. Everything is in synchronicity. The more we get in, the more we understand it. The more we realize that, oh wow, even the good things and the bad things are just, everything is in synchronicity. So when I set my goals, I think every person will have a certain goal because we were programmed like that, we're trained like that to have a goal. And we set the goal according to the mindset and the level of consciousness and intelligence we have right now. That keeps changing with the work we do. It might go high, it might go low, we don't know. So it's like whatever the work we are doing and how well we are treating ourselves, our mind and body, it depends on that. And also many other factors. So if I'm setting a goal right now to like reach to this destination or earn something or this level or that level, I'm setting it from this level of understanding, which will keep changing, and that'll make me either disappointed or change the goal to the next level. And we keep doing that. We never learn how to just be. So it's like it's all becoming. It's like we just go and get in and like we want to become something. I want to become that. I want to become this. I want to achieve that. It's like so many I want to things. It's like piled up, and we never let ourselves to be right here with ourselves in this moment. It is so hard to even think this way. So especially if you're raised in a culture where your grades are bigger than yourself, which are like valued more than yourself, and like your degrees and your PhDs and masters and whatnot. So if you're from that kind of background, then we always have an achiever kind of mindset or like goal set for us already. And every family has a program of what success is in their life. And my family has a program, and each family will have their own program, and we get this with our own parents. And whatever the thing it's not worked in their lives, they generally push towards us on the name of how, like, them wanting us to be better than them in work, in life, financially, and all kinds of things. It goes in various forms, how they push their ideas of how we should be, and how whatever the things they didn't work on them, and how they are pushing it on us, so that they'll feel comfortable that at least my kid is better or like doing it. So on with that, there will be a lot of suppression of who you are, because you are an individual, you are a piece of life, you are throbbing life. and you're unique to yourself. There's no one like you. But that's not there because it's kind of like it's masked between parents has to like show off their kids are doing well, and they depend on this. If they're never connected to themselves, if the parents are never connected to themselves, and they don't have any spiritual process in place in their own lives, they push all these things to children, and this satisfies themselves. If the children are doing good in their grades, they don't care their mental health, their emotional health. It doesn't matter. If the kid is good at getting good grades, or like whatever the parent is into, if the kid is doing that, then they talk about it, they brag about it with other people, and they satisfy themselves, their own hole inside. They keep filling with these things. But the kid is getting like slammed with all this stuff. If he doesn't have a personality, or he doesn't have his own fragrance yet, it's like too many things are pushed onto him, right? So this is one part, how we like set goals, how we get into the mindset of goals. It began from a very early age, and it'll never let us settle. And if we never relax, never, like we are always into this running mentality of achieving more and more and more and more and more. It never stops. It's just infinite. We are wasting our life. So, and I understood this thing, and like it was hard initially to conceive the idea of removing the goals. It's like, how can I exist now if I have no goals? Like, what am I gonna do if I have no goals at all in life? These are these moments of shock, like when we awaken, when we see things clearly. And awakening is not an easy process. Spiritual awakening is not easy. It's your illusion, your own piled up illusion is burning, in the sense you're dying and taking a rebirth. Literally, that's going to happen in a way. Not your physicality, but your personality, your psychology, and all that. Your who you think you are is, when it dissolves, that's going to create a lot of pain, and that's how awakenings are not easy. Transformation of life yourself is not an easy process. It's gonna be tough. But the fruits are pretty big. It's worth it. It's totally worth it. So when I'm working on my thing, and like wanted to remove my goals and see like how can I like work, when I understood this thing, still there are questions like, okay, let's remove all these goals. I needed to work on it. It took me some time, because once I removed my goals, I decide something to do but never make it into a goal. If that happens, that's cool. If it doesn't happen, that's cool too. But I enjoy the process of doing it. I enjoy that. Otherwise, I'm not even going to get into this, because I quit a really good job. I had a 6-figure job, and like I was working with the U.S. government. So everything was fine in my life. It's when I quit my job, it was awesome. People would like die for the job I quit. It's really like the thought that I'm gone. Like, why are you quitting a perfect job? Like, what's up with this, right? But the thing is, I realized that I'm wasting my time, my very precious time of my life, which is not gonna come back, because we are running out of time. We are not conscious about it. We think we do all the stupidity we do because we are not conscious in that moment that we're gonna die one day. It's like body has a clock and it's ticking. Body's clock is ticking, and we don't know when it's gonna stop. So if we have this consciousness, then we don't do foolish things. There's no time to waste. Time is the most precious thing we have, the clock we have, because it's running out. It's like, so when I removed my goals, and I fell into this easiness in life, like super easiness. I earned more money when I quit my job and like do whatever I was into. I started like learning a little bit into trading, and I just like got into this place of like, how can I work independently and start my own journey and like seek spirituality and live a minimal life, not too much of too many. It's like I'm working on this subject at the time, and I'm still doing it. I'm still in the process. When goals were like, when I removed it, I fell into this easiness, in this nice, comfortable um, easiness. It was so eased. I was so eased, and it's like it feels relaxing, super relaxing. There's nothing to do. You wake up and like there's nothing to do. There's nothing to, in the sense, it's not like you gotta get ready and take a shower. It's like this is all this program, like, you just you have like so many options and see, okay, what do I wear today, and like all this and then you go and like, get into your car and start on the same road, and you know where the fucking holes are on the road and you don't even have to think about it. It's like this robotic life. And then you go to work, and if you're into IT or any kind of job which is like sitting down and doing it, like if you're into that for 5 to 10 years, then you know where how things are. It'll become repetitive. The whole thing becomes repetitive. So when I woke up, my cube became tiny for me. It started suffocating me. It's like I felt this suffocation because uh, the how can I say this? The level of consciousness of the people who I was working with and mine was very different. It's completely different. Our ideologies is entirely different about nature, about people, about plants, about the whole thing. And I quit alcohol and all that at the time, and I couldn't relate. It's like it's more into barbecuing and drinking alcohol. That's what the culture is at my work, and they talk about it the next day and all that, and going to 1 or 2 vacations a year and like brag about it for the rest of the year. This is just a program. And I just woke up so wide that I can see all these programs at my work. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't like keep doing this, and it doesn't make sense to me, because it's like it's solving no one's problem. All the work I'm doing is just nothing. It's all the work we do in IT is not helping anyone in a way where they're building their own life from the scratch. It's not doing anything. It's other than making the owners really rich, the people who are owners of this company is very, very rich. So in a way, it's like I'm giving my time, my very precious time of my life, that too from 9 to 5, the most active time, to what? To earn some paper money and like, earn it and like keep it, and like since I have more buying power, so that I can satisfy myself that I have more buying power, I can buy more now, or like, and my safety is coming from the money I'm earning, which I did not like at the time. I just woke up wide and understood that, okay, I need money, but not to the level of that. My confidence and my safety is coming from that. It shouldn't be like that. It should come from me and my own strength and my own understanding of who I am. So I understood this thing, and like, I compared my corporate life after I came out, and like when I was having my awakening. After my awakening, I started like removing all these goals, and like out of that easiness, slowly the ideas started coming up. It's like, also I've seen how insane my mind is. When you're left, I'm living by myself since past 2.5 years. I'm mostly in my aloneness. I do have friends and stuff, but I like to live in my aloneness. Initially it was tough. Initially it was so painful, like to understand what's really going on with me, with my own awakening. Because okay, I'll talk about it a little there. So let's get back to the goals. Goals is it's like when I removed it, I fell into this easiness, and things started slowly unfolding for me. I started learning about myself more. What do I like, and what are the faults I made to be in the situation, and how can I make this a little better at an eased spot? Because all the best decisions we took or take in life comes from when we are at this easiness. Because when you're relaxed and when you're at easiness, those things are visible to you. If we are running, we are running, and like we are running, 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 we It's like this. Like Steve Jobs, I think I heard this from Steve Jobs or something. It's like if you're focused on 100 different things, like 100 different dots, it's like you can't, like, if you're focused on at least like one thing, like, one dot, your entire focus is there in your, let's just say that dot is your life situation, some kind of situation. But once you take a step back and back and back, then you can see all those things, all those situations in life. But you're focused on only one situation as your goal, all the rest is not visible. You're just going right there. So you need to like take a step back and take a moment and reflect on your own self, what you're doing in life. That doesn't happen unless you are at ease. When you are at ease, you can see the whole pattern of your life, your decisions, the choices you made, and those decisions leading you somewhere from some point. It might be good or bad, and those effects on your life, that might be financial, psychological, relationships, whatever. All those choices and the actions you took, and you're sitting down and like slowly going into it and working on them. Okay, all right, this is what I did, and this is what happened. I should have changed this thing, and all that comes when we're totally at ease. So without dropping the goal, it will never happen. Goal is not needed to exist in my view. It doesn't need it. There's no need for that. I'm existing without a goal right now. I do like some things. I want them. My financial security is what I am working on right now, because I took it so easy since past 1.5 years, like since my awakening, because I couldn't focus on it literally. So, but other than that, it's like I still, it's not a goal. It just, I needed that. So it's like a necessity for you to survive, to feed yourself and take care of your health and things like that. So, and removing it out of that easiness, everything just fell into place for me. Like so many things fell into place and they're still falling. I'm at this understanding that I do not want to rush myself in life for anything. I just don't like to rush myself, or rushing in the sense in my mind, moving yourself from your awareness for something. You overstimulated to do something, and when we rush, we have no awareness. We're rushing it. We're rushing our whole body and mind towards it. So this point, I just understood this and like took it easy. I'm like, let's remove all these goals and this mindset of achieving something, put that aside for a little bit. It's like too much achievement, which is not even mine, because I think I mostly did whatever I like to do, whatever I did in my life because of my parents or something else. It's like my parents comparing me with some other people, my relatives and all that they're getting good grades, you're not getting good grades. It's this whole stupidity of comparison, and like, I think most of whatever I did in like work life, I think it's came from there. It's not me. So I wouldn't have picked this job or something if I have given total freedom when I was a kid. So that's not the case for many of us. So so anyways, which when I removed it, and it's everything just like, it's still arranging itself, and I could see it because I'm calmer, because I'm like at ease. When you have nothing to do, when you're left with yourself, you'll solve your own problems and your own sickness in your mind. It's like, first of all, the very first thing you'll see is how insane your mind is. Everyone will see this. Everyone who starts living alone and had a transition from like corporate life or whatever the life they're in, and when the transition happens, they see this thing. So it's gonna happen. So coming back to change or transformation or spiritual awakening, what happens in this thing? The first signs of the things we watch. When you have a spiritual awakening or a transformation or a big change in your life, your personality changes with it. The way you want to look changes with it. The way you think changes. Your perception has altered into a next level. That can help you be like, it's just your wisdom just improved a little bit. That means your consciousness you got more access to your own consciousness. That'll become a lot of change in your life. You'll see things differently, you talk things differently, your interest in life will change, and so many things will change according to this thing. And when this happens, the very first thing is the close family you have and the friends you have will notice it. Will notice that you change, something changed. Even though you're the same person, you look the same, everything is same, but something changed. They can't understand that. That creates a little bit of how can I say this thing? That creates a little bit of rupture or friction for them, because they can't decode you anymore, or they can't, like, they're used to certain you. They're used to you being certain yourself, and that's not there anymore. That change is energetically very different for them. Something changed and they can feel it, but they're not sure yet. This is the first sign. And the more you awaken, the more people in your life will fall away from you. This is the very first sign, and it's like it should happen this way, because it will happen this way. Many people can't adapt to the change you're having in your spiritual life, or in your spiritual awakening, because change makes people just fall out of the connection you have with them. Because in a way, every person who can understand you can captivate you in a certain way. It's like there is a chance of manipulation if people can understand you totally. It is better. A lot of people don't understand you in a way. Every point they can understand you, they can use it against you too. Now, I'm not saying everyone would do it, but they can. That's when the rupture happens. They don't know what changed. Something changed. It's the beginning of the awakening. Once you were totally awakened in a way where, like, you just understood that, okay, I had a fucking big awakening and I almost died in my awakening kind of awakening. That's when almost 90% people, 95% people, almost everyone in your life will change. In a way, when I say change, the connection you have with them completely disables. It's like it'll take a next level. You can help them, but you're not attached to them. They can't control you emotionally. They don't have that bond. In a way, that bond can control you. And they don't like that. They don't say that. They can't say it because they don't even know what you're going through. It's like an energetical change. When this happens, they understand that something changed, and because the way you will become more authentic. This is the first sign of a spiritual awakening. You will become more honest with yourself, more authentic with yourself, and also to others. That itself, you lose a lot of people just by that, because they're used for you to say a certain thing for a certain question. Let's just say you have a friend who will ask a question where he understands that what you will reply, and they are dependent on those replies. It's like this. I'll ask you, okay, what do you think about this pen? I will say, oh yeah, I really like it. Like it looks cool. So that's what you're expecting from that person, your friend, to tell you, and you know that. So that's when that's how many people will ask the question in their lives to get the confirmation that, okay, he likes it too, or she likes it too. So this should be fine. They're dependent on your energy for their decisions. It's not fun all the time, and it can take many shapes of manipulation. So, and you were not like connected to that anymore. You changed, and you're authentic and honest right now. And you'll say, if the same question is asked, you'll say, just a pen, I don't care. So they don't like that. It's too changed for them. It's way too changed. And when this happens, they'll walk away. It'll happen so slowly, and you will be in a kind of like painful mode when this happens, because you're losing so many people you are dependent on. You yourself are dependent on their answers for you, and you're for your safety, for your whatever. Many reasons for that. So it's your safety net too. This like both people with two fake faces came together to, like, fit with each other and continue that fakeness in comfortability and in what is the word for this, in comfortability, and I just, such a word for this, I couldn't, it's just not coming out. All right, so whatever. So that in that comfortability, you like, you know, you just, it's like safety net of each other. And when you are awakened, when you become authentic and you're saying the words you really mean, this fakeness of this authenticity, non-authenticity of that person will shake. It's gonna shake because you're too challenging. All of a sudden, you're real now. You're authentic now, and that's like, that threatens their non-authentic face, their non-authentic being, or their, because you both are the same at the time. Unless the before awakening, you both are same people, like seeking each other's comfort, seeking each other's energy to make yourself feel safer in life. That might be from anything. That might be like, you know, financial, or your fear of what's going to happen to you. You need someone to call if something happens, or all these things. These two things will happen when the transformation begins. At the time you lose most of the people. That's how it has to be, because all the things you piled up, all the connections you have are fake, are not authentic, most of them. So even though you have real connections, you are not in a place of awareness to identify it. You are about to identify it. You are about to go and have this awareness to see what's real and what's not. So when you're having this thing, and when you're starting your spiritual awakening in the beginning, if you are in the beginning stage, many people just walk away because you're in pain. That people don't like that. You just walk away because it's your energy of that pain is too much for them to handle it, or sharing your own journey, because you're sad most of the time, and it's too intense, and it's like, it's not fun. Spiritual awakening is not fun, because your illusions are getting dissolved. Your old self is literally dying right in front of you. Your reality is changing right in front of you, and that's hurtful for you too, because your mind will cling. It'll try to hold on to the past because it's too fearful. Like, it doesn't understand what's going on. Like, everything in my life is so perfect, and it's like, no, for many people things are perfect, but spiritual awakening is so tough. At least we think it is perfect, but they're not. So don't be worried when you start losing people. It's a good sign, because you need to lose a lot of that crap. I'm not trying to insult the people you're connected to. This is not my aim here. Whatever the things which are weighing on you will dissolve with your spiritual awakening. It's like your own rebirth. You'll feel lighter later. That might come after 1 year, 2 years, 6 months. We don't know. It'll happen. It's a process. We need to let this happen, and let it has its control, and let it play its role. We just can't push it down, because we are not liking how we are feeling. The more we push down, the harder it'll become. So people falling out is a really good sign. It's an amazing sign, because you need to make space for new people to come in. New people who like you as who you are, how authentic you want to be, so that you never have to lie, you never have to like put a fake face, and you never have to like do all these things. You just be yourself. It is so easy. It's so easy just to be ourselves. And if you don't want to say something, you just remain in silence. You just say, I don't want to talk about it. That's all. So, and when the new people you're making, the new friends you're making, and they will come to you as how you are, how authentic you are. They like that because they are like that. And the appreciation of each other's authenticity will begin. Encouraging of each other's honesty and authenticity in life will begin. And only when you raise yourself to that bar of authenticity, only then you can see the people who are authentic. Unless then you can't even see them. They can't even see you. Probably they might see you, but they can't connect to you, because connection cannot be established with an authentic face and a fake face. It needs to come together. So the two authentic people we'll draw each other. It'll happen. And it might take some time for all this. It might take some time for sure, because it's challenging for you to admit that you yourself are not dependent on the people you had in your life. You need to let go. You need to let go that tight holding with your fear. Who are the people you are attached, but not attached right now because of your awakening? You need to let it go. After you let go, the easiness will begin. The lightness in your body and your mind, it's so empty. Your mind will become so empty because you don't have to put anything out which you don't like. You can just be yourself totally. So then the people who are like that can see you, and the appreciation of each other will begin really good. So this will get you into a place of honest conversations which are really deep. If there are people in my life where I can go deeper in like explaining about deeper truths of universe and religion and sexuality and many other things, there are people who will sync with me. We both are authentic. We had our journeys together, or like, not together, just like awakening in separate times, but had awakenings for sure. Once we understand that, we accept our own faults without fear of what the other person is judging. If I say about myself, that fear would not be there, and you'll not even let the other person use that against you too. If you're saying, let's just say you have a bad habit and you're talking about it, that hey, I had this bad habit and I need to change this or whatever, right? You were accepting this out of fearlessness. You are saying this because you're authentic, not to let someone else use that against you. You are conscious about this. You know how to protect yourself. And when the other person who is authentic sees this, there is an initial energy drawing together. It's like the two people will come together. Then the conversations go deeper. If I start talking about the depth, how I can and he or she can go, to authentic people can go, that'll shock a lot of people who are not authentic. They'll walk away because it'll threaten their emotional personalities. Because they can't control you. They have to walk away. They can't manipulate you. They can't trick you into liking them. They just don't have any power because you guys are too upfront. It's like you're talking everything open. So this happens at a later time. This will come. But initially, when you're having an awakening or had an awakening and in a stage of place where you feel like you're losing all the people you have, take it as a really good sign. It's happening for a very good reason, because the benefits will come later. The benefits, you can see it later, not right now, because we're not in a place to see it yet. That's all. It's like once you accepted that, okay, I'm gone, like I'm just done with these people, not in a bad way. You can help them still. Like the love for them will increase, but the attachment decreases. The control they have on you, and the control you had on them will totally go. It's like done. You just don't even want that anymore. And you can really help them if they want to, but they can't come to you because there is nothing else to discuss. The topics of your own awakening will drive you in a way, the way you choose what you need to learn, and the entire thing changes. The whole thing of who you are changes. If that's an awakening, that's transformation. When that happens, your interest of reading books and the type of books and all these things changes. There is no common topic. There will be no common topic left for you to discuss with the people you're connected before. So yeah, take it as a very good sign. If this is happening to you and like losing people, that's how we awaken. That's how awakening is. So that you'll just make space for new people to come in, because you're occupied. Your mind is occupied. We think that we have like 5 or 10 friends, or the number of friends you have or connected to. We think that we are spending time only when we are spending time with them in person. That's not how it works. The mind is continuously thinking about them, and like, what to do, or even though you're not giving importance to them, or not even knowing that it's doing it, it's still doing it in the background. It always happens. Once you accept that, okay, I have this awakening, and like I can't force myself to put a fake self, fake face, fake smile, fake whatever for the other person. The more you do it, the more you let go, the freer your mind becomes, the more intelligent you'll become, the more aware you become. And slowly, the people who have this awakening, who have this level of understanding and like being more authentic to themselves and to others, you'll draw each other. This will happen. This needs to happen, because the people who can stay in their aloneness, your strength of you being utterly alone, no one else, your capacity of being yourself in that aloneness is directly proportional to the capacity of how much you can love. Your love is that the time you can spend with yourself in your utter aloneness. So the more you can stay in it, the more comfortable you become in your own aloneness, because aloneness is something amazing. Aloneness is you being with yourself. You established an amazing connection with yourself, and you're literally really enjoying your own company. You start seeing how beautiful you are. That's when you begin to see all the beauty outside you. Once you see yourself, your own creation, and your own self, how beautiful you really are, that'll reflect onto everything you see and every person you see. So when this happens, the whole world will change for you. In like a flash, everything changes. It's like a perception change. So it's like in meditations and awakening, this will happen. Once a perception changes, you don't have to think for every situation, what should I do in this one and that one and this one. Your entire perception took to the next level. So all the things you're perceiving in the entire world will change for you. It can happen in a flash of a second. So, but it'll take time to understand this. That's all. When I had this, and when I started accepting people in my mind that, all right, I can't do this anymore. I can't just, say or like whatever they're saying, because I don't want to like, make them feel guilty about what they're doing, or like, I don't know the term here, not guilty, but just like, just saying what's real. And I could see the reality a little bit better. And I can't tell them, because if I say, then it's like, it's like they notice this changes. And I'm like, at initial part of time, I kind of like tortured myself, like, okay, this is not how it should be. And it's like the whole pattern of what that person is doing, just for me to like it, just for my approval of what he's doing, or just, it's like energy sucking, just taking my energy, they just want my energy. So I just see all these things. I'm like, I can't give more attention to this anymore. And finally I was at this part where I'm like, all right, I can't continue like this. I gotta like say whatever I really mean. And even though it hurts them, that's how it should be. And it's like, I can't put this energy of lying for other people's comfortability. It's my own bad karma. I don't want to do this. And I slowly understood this. I'm like, all right, I took a decision that if I feel like this is my truth right now, and this is my honest opinion, if they ask me, I'll give it. I don't want to change it, because it's hurting my own journey in my own spiritual life. Because I can't lie for someone else's comfortability. I can't put a fake face for someone else's comfortability so that they can remain in their own comfort zone, like stroking their own egos and stuff. I just don't want to do that anymore. So once I took this decision, 90% of my friends just fell. It just happened so easy that I don't even have to worry about it now. It's like gone. In a way, initially it was a tough time for me to deal with this, because I thought that how would I survive without the friends I had? Like if something happens to me, or who I'm gonna depend on, right? So at that point, I was too clinging, too fearful of this change I'm having of my own transformation. But I was at the stage. I'm at a stage right now that I don't want to do this. Like I'm just done with that. I just, I just even not even want to think about it, or not want to waste my time for people like that in my life. I have respect for them. I really have love for them too. I really dearly love them, but I can't continue doing this. And also, once in a while, we might hang or like just like chat something, what's going on and all that. But the deeper part of who I am, they can't handle it because it's too much. It's like for them, it's too straightforward, too honest, and the la la land they are in, it's gonna shake that, and it's better for them to find the people who they have their life in their life, and like continuing doing their thing until they had their awakening or whatever in their own life. And I kind of like want to find the people who I am interested in, who I can open myself to a deeper aspect and like talk about many things, putting myself in first. Like I'm not important when I speak about these things. The topic is important, not my personality or who I am is important, or how I look is. It's not that important. All that matters when I connect to a person like me is how far we can dig into our own consciousness, own intelligence and awareness, to bring the wisdom out of ourselves, and how am I helping to the other person when we speak about many topics, about sexuality, about meditation and deeper parts of it, and wisdom and life and money and all of it, like entirety. So when we get into these things and when we start digging in, we need to accept our own clutter, our own faults and things within ourselves first, and then like it, then love all that, because it is you, it is still your own life. If you don't do that, no one else will do that for you. It's like you can't even like your own faults, and who do you think is going to come to you and like that? It's like it's all the people are doing this thing. This whole relationships are like this. They go in a way where it's like two fake people coming together, thinking the other one is the real, and they're gonna help each other. Like if that person comes into my life, I'll become so happy, and like I'll be satisfied, and like I love that person so much, and she'd do the same thing or he would do the same thing. These are all the fake expectations two fake people has, and they come together and they stay, and for like a couple of years or whatever, then they'll understand that okay, this is total fake. I thought that he's the love of my life or the light of my life, or she's the light of my life, but no, it totally different. It's way different right now. So then the breakups happen. Breakup is just this, it's just your illusion of what the other person broke. The reality is visible, and that hurts because illusion is you're in the la la land when you're in the illusion. So all these things like come up to you, and when these changes are happening, we will lose people. It's a really good sign. It's a sign of growth when you start losing people organically, not because you were bad to them, just because you're being yourself. You're just being more honest to yourself, and you start losing people. That's a very good sign, because they need to leave for you to exist the way you want to exist, and need to remove all this clutter and free your mind with all these people, and like be with yourself more, and like let it reflect onto people who are like you. When you can live in your aloneness in a joyful manner, and when you are in a place of you need no one for you to survive, you just touched yourself, you just really like connected yourself in that spot. From that point, you're not fearless anymore. You don't have many fears from that on, because you are self-dependent. You are independent from many people and many things. You'll take your chances. If something's going to happen, you'll take your chances and you'll deal with it. That confidence and that fearlessness would be there. in an awakening. This is the sign of awakening, and these are the things we get in the awakening after we process all the negativity and the tough spot of that transformation. This will begin, the fearlessness will begin, and the true love, you'll really understand what true love is, because it'll begin from loving yourself first, going into yourself and accepting your own deep flaws, which you've been judged by your parents, by your friends, and by your colleagues or whatnot, or bullied for, or whatever. So when you accept all these things inside yourself, then you're not giving the power away to someone else to hurt you, because you already embraced all of yourself. The real love begins from this place. Then you'll understand what real love is. Then you'll do it with yourself first. Then two people who can live in their aloneness totally without having the need to connect to anyone. I'm not saying they don't want to, but there's no need to. You're really satisfied with who you are, and you're content with your life. When that happens, when two people meet as friends or relationships or whatever, that is a very beautiful relationship. It might be friendship, it might be romantic relationship, whatever the term of that relationship is, because there wouldn't be any relationship. There will be only relatedness. There is no attachment. The more aware you become, the less attached you become to things, because there is no need to get attached. Attachment is the cause for many miseries. So all these things will come up slowly, and like you'll see that losing few people, and first accepting within yourself that okay, something changed, and I can't lie, or whatever the little change you want to make, which you don't want to make for other people, just for them to be in their own comfortability and be in their own ego, because you're just supporting and stroking their ego till that point, because it's like ego has to survive for two fake people if they have to exist. The more authentic you become, the ego goes down and down and down. So that's like when your ego goes down, people can't manipulate you, they can't trick you, because you're authentic. You will only do things which you want to do. Let's just say, I can give an example in my own life which happened to me in a relationship with someone. So that person she's manipulative, and she can manipulate me by tricking me into doing something she likes me to do for her. But my authenticity and my awareness, I'm only doing it because I really want to do it. Unless then, I wouldn't say I'm going to do it. If you are in the spot of authenticity and doing the things just because you really, really want to do, even though the other person is trying to manipulate you, or they think that they tricked you into doing it, it's not about, they don't even exist for you. You said okay or doing that because you really like to do it deep down, truthfully, honestly. That gives you more joy because you did it for yourself. So in this authenticity, if your whole life and all the choices are aligning to this authenticity, the manipulation of people can't work. And the more authentic you become, the more you repel the people who like to depend on you emotionally, and you want your energy for them to survive, and they just run away from it because they can't stand your authenticity, your straightforwardness. So yeah, I think this is the point I want to make for the people who are having an awakening, and also had an awakening in this spot. This is a tight spot because this is a really tight spot. Even for masters and many other people, this is a tight spot to lose the people you already have from all your life. It's just not like 1 year, 2 years, from your childhood, your deeper connections you thought you had with them, and the bonds you had. This will all go with spiritual awakening to the next level. You can help them, be connected to them, but not in a way before how you were before. The emotional connection you have will lower. The attachment you had will lower. It doesn't need to, because if we are emotional, we can't take rational decisions. How can I explain this? let's just say you want to work out and lose weight, and then all of a sudden you watch some videos, or like you watch you're watching something on your TV and got motivated, or like heard something from a friend, he was like 500 lbs and became 200 lbs or whatever, all those, all the things which are motivative. You heard something and you were charged, then you got into YouTube and like looked about how to lose weight and how to maintain it and all that. You're supercharged right now, dude. Then you join the gym and you start working like crazy for the first 3 days. That's how we never go back to the gym again. In the first 1 week, we, out of all that emotional built up, we just do it intensely. After that, we quit. Then there's your the intensity of the emotion is not gonna be like stable. It's up and down. It comes and goes and come. The will is not a stable thing. It's always, it has its highs and lows. Now we might have the willpower and the emotional power to do it. With this emotion, we started it. In a week, it'll end, and we never go back to gym again. Maybe next year, again when we have this motivation. Oh, I'm gonna do it right now, and we repeat the same thing. So this is the pattern, right? So this there is no rational thinking in it, because when you want to achieve something, a result of losing weight or whatever, you need a strategy. You need a strategy, and you need to follow that strategy. You need to play the odds first to see how much strength I have, and how much time I have, and how much, whatever the logistics, the whole planning of this thing is to achieve whatever you want to achieve. You need to have a strategy for that, not an emotional high, because emotional high will go down. So all these things will come slowly, like you'll notice all these things, and it'll help you. Hope this video helps you, because it's really awesome for me to talk about it, because it feels good. It's because I've been through these things, and it was not easy. It was not fucking easy. It was not easy, definitely, because I needed to let go major group of my friends and all that, because I didn't even know that how negatively they are impacting me. I have no negative feelings for them. I only have love for them. But how negative it is on my personality, or my own way of leading my life, and how it's not helping me, how it's pulling me down, and like how my mind is thinking negative about all that. There's so many things included in it. And once I just understood and let it go. Like, all right, I have myself. That's enough. when I accepted this in a deeper level, then things change. My dependency on other people is almost negative right now. It is zero. My dependency on me is in totality. I like to depend on myself more. It's once you are self-dependent, and once you depend only on your energy most of the time, unless you're listening to a master, or like an enlightened master or a teacher or a coach is helping you. Other than that, the sources of your learning, other than that, it's like you freed a lot of things. So it's so good. It's like, it's awesome. So thank you. Appreciate it. So I wish you all the best in your journey. If you landed on my channel and you were watching this for 50 minutes, you are into something, because I didn't make this channel to profit on it, or to like how can I say this, I just don't want, it's not like something I want to live on this, because many people who are on YouTube, they live on the videos they make, and even on spirituality and stuff. I'm not denying anything. Like, I'm not saying that's bad or that negative or something. That's their choice of their thing. Whatever they're doing, they're trying to do it and also earn some money on it. But for me, I don't like that. I'm not into that. I want to do my own thing, and like so I didn't make this channel into something which will blow up, something which gets more likes, and it's kind of like I hid this channel in a way that it's not even searchable sometimes. If you type soul family, it's not it's not even like searchable. So because I can't even, so sometimes it doesn't even come up. So I can change all these things, like, you know, I can do many things to like get more likes, and like they do this clickbaiting, they add certain kind of titles, and there's so many things. Because I'm into IT, I know all these things, but I want this to be little hidden for them, for people who land on this page, a little serious about their awakening, and are in a stage where they need help. Only then they're coming here. Only that seeking, that searching made it came, because you need to be calmer to understand me. And if you're having rushing mind and rushing thoughts, you will judge me and walk away. You judge me and, like, you know, go forward, or like, you know, go to the next video or whatever. So for few people, in my view, I just had at least like touch few people who are in this, my words might help them. That's the only reason I'm here. So, and also mostly it's for me. It's for my own satisfaction, that I'm keeping whatever the things I'm learning alive. Because when we have glimpses of samadhi, the glimpses will you can forget the glimpse too. You can't forget it entirely, but the process, if you keep yourself so busy in so many things, it'll become like a dream to you. Your own samadhi, the glimpse of samadhi or satori, or at least closer to the state of samadhi. If you forget the whole thing, it's like, you know, it'll take a lot of time to come back to that state of mind again. So I'm keeping it alive for myself, talking about it, and nurturing. It's like a seed. We need to nurture the seed. It'll take time, and remind yourself that if you had an experience of samadhi, I'm absolutely joyful for you, and very thankful that you had that, because it happens once in many lifetimes. It's just not something which will come to you just like that, because you're experiencing your own soul is no joke. It's your own liberation. You saw the glimpse of how liberation feels like, how enlightenment feels like, and the power and the strength of human mind, and the capability of human life has on each person. So we need to nurture this in order for us to go deeper. Even though I'm taking a break, I'm never going to forget. I keep reminding myself because it needs to be reminded, and because it needs to be nurtured for you to go down there, because you're encouraging every time when you speak about it. Because I don't have like a list of things I speak. I just spontaneous. Whatever I'm speaking is spontaneous, and I'm having fun because I kind of watch my own videos after after I do videos, because I learn from it. Because there's certain things I don't think it'll come out, and then I'll pick up. I'm like, okay, this is this is new, and this is like, because it's spontaneous. It's like when you're into meditation, when you have the separation of you and your mind, like in that gap, things will become spontaneous for you. It's like the things you're talking, you're not framing it before. You're not framing the sentences or the stuff you want to talk about it before. You're just saying it in a way where, however you understood it, however your experience is, and your own consciousness is getting it out of you, and you're speaking it without thinking about it. Because I don't think all these things, it just comes out. That's why I never edit any videos. It's spontaneous. So I wanted it this way, even though initially when I made my couple of first videos and stuff, because when I just came out of my meditation and after Vipassana, I couldn't speak much at the time. So I had a tough time finding words and like arrange, because it's a lot of silence for many months. All right, thank you so much for listening, and all the very best to you.